Welcome to another video, and today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at 4 side hustles that you really should avoid and not participate in. Stay tuned. All right, so there's a lot of side hustles out there that you could do, but in some cases you probably should just avoid them. I know that a lot of people out there are trying to make some extra cash, extra money for travel, vacation, maybe save up for your college degree, education, whatever the case is. Maybe you want to pay for a new kid's toys, Christmas, and that kind of thing. But there's a lot of side hustles out there, but there's some that you really should just avoid and not even participate in. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of those insights. So let's start out with number 1, and that is multi-level marketing. A lot of people get sucked into this. Multi-level marketing companies are usually very similar to pyramid schemes, and they use shady tactics to get rich quick promises to attract a lot of people. Now, according to the FTC, 99% of MLM participants lose money. So you could go ahead and do some research here. Obviously, Google is never 100% accurate. So, but if you go through and actually take a look at the Federal Trade Commission, which is a US-based thing. So if you're outside the US, then you may want to check out your own country's data. But you could take a look and see there's a lot of reports from the FTC regarding multi-level marketing, things where there's just a lot of scammy things regarding MLM practices. So just be careful. I'm not saying that you can't make money with MLM, but the majority of people just do not. There's a lot of hype behind it that attracts people. Yeah, I want to go ahead and do this. And it feels like, okay, I'm going to make some money. If I do this and I sign up 2 or 3 people here and 2 or 3 people there, then I can make quite a bit of cash. But for most people, it just doesn't pan out or work out. So let's go on to number 2, and this is online surveys. A lot of people get attracted to this because when they lose their job, they go in, they want to say, hey, let me do some online surveys, because survey companies or companies do pay you to do some surveys. But they pay you very little in exchange for hours of tedious work. Not to mention there's a lot of like scammy websites out there. They try to steal your personal information and install kind of malware on your computer to get you to pay fees up front and then deliver nothing in return. So if you take a look at here, the Last Line website, you can see there's tons of online survey scams, because what they're really trying to do is go out and get your data and information. So sometimes they even ask for money up front. So if you're doing kind of surveys, think about it. This is kind of what hackers want. So they might have, let's say, 20 questions. And in those 20 questions, you might give them your age or your birthday. And you give them maybe your name. So that way they know where to send you your product, your check, your money, that kind of thing. So out of those 20 questions, how have you bought these cereals before? Have you bought this laundry detergent before? All those kinds of questions, they can lead into some personal data, which you might be willing to give. And with time, after you do like 2 or 3 of those surveys, they've collected maybe enough information to actually steal your identity. So be careful. It's not saying that they're all like that, but if you're doing a survey, do it for a reputable company. They might have focus groups. They might have you go in person, try a product for like a month or 2, and maybe even do reports on it to that way get a more true, accurate picture of the product. So that's just much more realistic from a survey, maybe data collection and just product experience rather than just doing online surveys for a couple of bucks. All right, let's look at number 3, and that is drop shipping. You know, a lot of people want to get into the drop shipping business. It sounds like an easy way, right? You go ahead, people buy some products, and then you just ship it to them from another company, and you don't really have to do any of the shipping. It's all done for you. Now, a lot of things that happen with drop shipping is that people get sent products from other websites like AliExpress or Chinese makes or areas, which again is not bad. But then what if you have to deal with returns, customer satisfaction, that kind of thing? You can't do it as quickly as a drop shipper because you probably don't have inventory in-house. So if, let's say, a customer got a damaged product, now you have to ship another one, or do you really know that they got a damaged item? You might not. So with drop shipping, there's a lot of volume involved. You have to do a lot of volume to really make it work. And even then, sometimes you might need to just do bulk orders for yourself, and then at that point you become kind of like a wholesaler rather than a drop shipper. So it's a trickier business to get into. I know a lot of people want to get into it, but it makes it much more tricky. So for example, here is kind of an example. Here is a Montessori kids education game. And you can take a look here. We've got a price of about, what is it, $23, $24 almost. On Amazon, and take a look at this. And I've kind of compared it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pegs here that we have. But then what you'll take a look at here is an AliExpress website, very similar in nature. Again, I couldn't find the exact same one, but they're very similar. This one has 7 rows, I believe, as I counted, but the item is the same and it's really only $10. So what happens with drop shipping is, look, you buy the item for 10, you ship it to your customer, they pay like 15 or 20, and you make like $7 on that product or something like that. You know, ship like 1,000 of them, because you can see right here, you know, there's 1,400 orders. Yeah, if you make 5, 7, 10 of them per day, you know, that starts to really add up, and that's where drop shipping starts to feel attractive, because you could do those volumes. But again, if the item doesn't get delivered, gets lost, that kind of thing, you have to cover the difference. So you have to ensure that you're having enough volume to make it worthwhile. Okay, another thing that people are really interested into making some side income or side hustle is really starting a YouTube channel or blog. Now, creating content on YouTube or a blog, it's not necessarily a bad idea. However, you have to look at it more like a long-term project, or really more like a business, rather than just, hey, I'm going to do this for the next 2-3 months until I get my next job, or just temporarily to make a few extra bucks on the side for Christmas or holidays. So instead, you have to really look at it more like a business rather than just kind of some quick cash. So here's a published stats from vidIQ, some stories and so on. If you take a look, there's kind of 3 channels here that were involved. And you can see, just to get 10,000 subscribers for these channels, the number of videos, it took 39, and it took about 390 days to grow that one. This one over here, you know, took 180 days to grow to 10,000. This one only took about a month. So some of them take a little bit quicker. And if you're trying to get 100,000 subscribers, you know, even then, that some of them take like 2 years, 1 year, and about half a year. So again, for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. But if you want to get into, you know, let's say a travel blog, or you know, just a regular vlog, you could do it, but it just takes a lot of effort. Instead, if you're doing something on YouTube, I would more or less promote a service, because then if people like the videos you're creating and you offer a service, they call you, they want your service, you do the work for them, and then you get paid for that service or job. It's basically just using YouTube as a platform to advertise your service or your business. So anyways, I hope that helps, gives you some ideas on some of the side gigs and side hustles you should really stay away from. I truly appreciate you sticking with me. Feel free to click some of the links below here to check out our website, other videos, and more great content. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.